My name's Emily Jackson from The Great Family Adventure, and today I'm going to talk about road tripping with your kids. One of the most frequently asked questions that I get is, how do your kids handle being in the car that long? There's a lot of different ways, and I'm not saying it's easy all the time, but we do spend a lot of time in the car, and here are some tricks that I found help make it more fun for the kids and more fun for mom and dad. When planning a longer road trip, the first thing I like to do is put in my destinations on Google Maps. The reason that I do this is I can really see the path that I'm taking. Now with our phones, I find it a lot harder to see the step-by-step, the states we're going through, the locations, but by bringing it up on my computer, I can really track where we're going. Even better, consider buying a map. Then you can really see all the towns between you and your destination. The reason that I like to follow the path is it helps me motorcycle. The reason that I like to follow the path is because it allows me to not only see all the different locations that we're going to be traveling through, but also plan out the day. When you're just driving to just keep driving and you haven't set a goal for getting somewhere before lunch or getting somewhere before dinner, it can be a lot more mentally taxing because you just keep on driving and you don't know exactly where you're going to get. You're just hopeful, but you don't really know. So for me, to take that pressure off of just keep trucking ahead, I like to look at what are the different destinations along the way. Is there a park in that area? Is there a Walmart we can sleep at? Is there a Target that we could go pick up some food and some snacks? Is there a Starbucks so I can get a cup of coffee? You know, just different things like that really help me to look forward to the next step and take some pressure off of not knowing what's coming up and not knowing what's in the towns up ahead. By doing this little bit of research, it also allows me to find some things that the kids might enjoy to help break up the drive. Often when I'm looking, I'll search for playgrounds or just things off the highway that might allow them to burn some energy. When in the car, some things that I do to help my kids is, one, I do allow them to have some screen time. My children have certain rules framed around their screen time, and by getting in the car, they get a little bit more of it, so they're really excited for those longer drives, because that means they get more time to watch movies and play games. In order to keep your kids from being on the screens the whole time, we have a little bit of rules to allow them to earn their screen time. For example, my son Tucker can read, and so he has to read for the same amount of time that he's on the screen. Or if it's a longer drive and it gets more difficult, we break down where he has to do either, write something out, he has to journal, he has to draw, just to help balance between the screens and then also just engagement time. Another thing we like to do is look up some family-friendly road trip games. For example, we always play one that's Name the Animal. And it's a yes or no question-based game where we're all in the car, one of us is thinking of an animal, and the other kids or adults get to ask different yes or no questions, and you have to try to guess the animal. It's a great way to get the whole family engaged and just help burn some time. Another tip for road tripping with your kids is to allow moments of pause. And the reason that we do this is because when we're constantly thinking of forging ahead, it can get really challenging to take that moment of pause because you want to get there and you're waiting to get that relaxation once you get to your destination. But often when we get to our destination, there's a whole new hustle that we have to think about. So just make sure you're giving yourself that time to relax and pause in the drive. Enjoy your lunch, have an extra cup of coffee, just chill a little bit throughout the journey of getting to where you're trying to go. Because honestly, once you get to the destination, you're probably approaching a whole new level of hustle and getting ready for whatever adventure is ahead of you. The last tip that I'm going to give you for road tripping is think about what are the reasons that we have to stop. Is it for water? Is it for food? Is it for bathroom? By thinking about what the causes are for the random stops, you can help alleviate a lot of them by planning ahead. So for us, we have the kids' toy bags each, so they always have stuff to play with. We have their water bottles, and we have snacks for both of them in the car. Nick and I also tend to do the same for us. We have our own snack bag and our own water bottles to make sure that we're not having to pull over because we're thirsty or hungry. And then for bathrooms, we try to make sure everyone goes when we stop at a gas station. And the reason that we do this is because if you wait till they each have to go and you're not forcing them to get on that routine of going when you are stopped, you're going to be pulling over way too much. So definitely consider preparing yourself for the road trip by thinking, what are the reasons I have to pull over and what can I do to help alleviate that?